up, guys? I'm here not with Abby today. You guys know me. I'm Nate, the TheRcSaylors, and I'm here with an amazing person that I met at this event, and I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hello, I'm Parker with Recon G6. We're here at the 2019 RC Fest presented by Horizon Hobbies. We're here with Pitbull RC, and where we held the first ever Illinois TTC State Championships and scale time trials. So we've had a blast. We've had an absolutely incredible time.
Now, as just a person that has experienced this course for the very first time ever, I had an amazing time. This was my first, I'm going to say, like, professional grade crawler course. I mean, I've done stuff in the backyard, I've done stuff trailing through the woods, but I've never driven a crawler on a course that someone took time to make, and I had an amazing time. I thought it'd be really cool for everyone that's watching to know, as they watch my truck, my Horizon Hobby ECX Barrage Gen 2, which performed amazing out of the box, go through your course that you made, the first part. I didn't do the second part of the course. This is the older part of the course. What goes into making something like that?
You know, I think one of the greatest things about our scale crawling hobby and the scale adventure driving aspect of it is everyone can build a small crawling spot in their backyard, even if it's just to test and tune things. I always tell people, I think at a young age, I was grooming to be here at this moment in time, because as a Matchbox fan, I would go out and make roads in the dirt for my Matchbox cars. So building a trail or building Recon G6 stages is like making roads that you get to drive on, like you did yesterday. This particular event is interesting because Horizon Hobbies asked if we could build a course that will stay permanently. And it's like, wow, so that opens up some doors. I look at, when I start to build a course, one, the area. Keeping in mind that how do I want to lay it out, I do a lot of supercross style layouts to maximize that limited space if you're limited on space. I try and find useful items. It doesn't have to be all rock, it doesn't have to be all dirt. We try and recycle items. So Horizon Hobby, they have down the street there's a concrete recycling plant. We're allowed to go in there and grab and use what we needed. So they had some old culverts, we used those as tunnels.
Saw that, that's
right?
Very cool.
They had a lot of broken concrete pieces that we've turned into canyons, or we've turned into valleys or V-cracks, a lot of old curbs. You just really are limited by your imagination as far as what to use, how to use it. What I try and keep in mind is fun. Always think about the fun of driving. How much fun is it to drive something? And not always make a course that's work. You need to kind of scale it into like a one-to-one off-road trail where you have a difficult section, and then you have a section that's just fun to drive. Maybe it's just a scale gravel road that you put some different color in to make it a gravel road.
I noticed that when I was driving, that there would be a spot that I might get stuck in, and I thought, I'm holding the line up here, I feel kind of bad, even though nobody cared. Everybody was enjoying watching me struggle to get through the hard part. And then I thought, well, okay, I'll back out here and I'll go around this easier looking side. And it's interesting to hear him say that, because I didn't realize that thought was put into it, but now that he has said that, I can see, oh, that is so cool that you actually thought about a hard spot and an easy spot there. And before he continues, I have to say, of all the events here, the flying, the race drones, even the bashing guys with their trucks, their course was the most inviting course for me and Abby and all of our friends to drive on. I didn't know what to expect. I kind of thought that these guys, they took their rigs so serious, building their trucks and making them look so cool, that they're probably very serious about the course too. There's going to be a lot of rules, and that is not the case. Now, some of the contests that they held had some specific rules, if a tire touched out of the course or something, but when you were just allowed to drive the course, you were allowed to drive the course, and that was so much fun.
And with that in mind, giving the driver an experience of highs and lows and choices. I'm a firm believer we all don't build our rigs alike, and one of the reasons, the biggest reason I love this hobby is we do have individualism in each rig. So each rig's completely different. So if you give drivers a line, whether their rig is capable or the driver's ability quite isn't there. In the one-to-one world, you always say your driving ability and your vehicle's capability is like a scale, and it very seldom balances out, but that's your goal, is to try and get the balance out. Sometimes your experience is beyond what your rig's capable of doing. Sometimes your vehicle is really, really built, but your driving ability doesn't allow for you to do the things it's capable of because your ability alone can't do it. The scale crawling is very similar in that, and we don't want to discourage anyone, so I make lines that offer something for every driver. You will see, and I've seen it time and time again, a new driver watch an experienced driver, and they could have identical rigs, and he'll drive a very difficult line where the new driver mentally couldn't see that line or didn't think his vehicle was capable enough to do it. Well, now he has the option of progressively challenging not only his vehicle, but his own driving ability. And watching that growth over time is one of the coolest things to me. But that's thought that you need to put into your course. Once you get your course built, now you can start adding the little cabins, the little gas stations. You could even have an on-the-trail McDonald's or an on-the-trail lemonade stand. It's almost like an interactive dollhouse that you could drive through and get all these cool pictures. But that's part of the fun of it.
Yeah.
Like scale garages, or I call them 4x4 dollhouses for men.
I've seen them on YouTube, and they're fun to watch.
And they look real.
They do.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's, first and foremost, have fun with your backyard scale course when you start building it.
This hobby, since day one for me, has been about meeting cool people. And there are a lot of cool people out there, but they're sometimes hard to meet. When you get events going like this, it makes it easier to meet those cool people. I think that it's very flattering for me to know the guy that's kind of behind the scenes of my axial G6 Recon.
Yes, one of the most, for me, and I do have a slightly biased opinion about the Recon G6 axial Jeep Wrangler. It's still one of the first RTR rigs you take out of the box, and it's trail ready right now. It's just it's so capable. So I really went above and beyond with that Jeep G6 rig, and it's awesome. Always going to hold a special place in my heart because it was just amazing working rig, you know.
Well, one thing about this event and this guy, you don't have to be Nate from the RC Sailors with 175,000 subscribers for him to talk to. He'll talk to anybody, and he has been hanging out and just having a great time at this event. And that's why I wanted to take the time to introduce you to him. If you ever see this guy, put the sunglasses. Well, he had different sunglasses.
I normally don't even wear sunglasses.
Kinda looks like Casey Neistat. So if you
oh
see Casey
yeah,
Neistat,
you're right. They're in the kilt.
I don't know.
So.
That's
and likewise, if you're watching this and you haven't subbed to RC Sailors, sub to RC Sailors, because I'm telling you right now, super cool people. They were on when we first met. I was like, I was shocked because they were on my list of people to meet when I found out they were coming here. And I'm telling you, amazing family, and that's what the Recon G6 is all about. It's family fun. We love being part of Horizon Hobbies RC Fest. It's our second year. We hope to see you back again next year.
I think we'll be back.
And I would like to invite you to the Missouri Recon G6 next year in April, coming down. It's not too much farther of a drive from here.
Yeah.
And experience an actual Recon G6 where you get to camp out or
that's cool.
Camp out in the hotel and experience what we do.
I think the main message I want to send home with you guys that I learned is that this is way more family friendly than I expected it to be, way more inviting to kids, the whole family. If you've never crawled on a course before, they're not going to shake their head at you. They're going to, even if an event is going on, I think they would say, wow, you're only here for 10 minutes. Yeah, go, here's a section you can crawl on. I mean, they're very inviting. Yes,
the Recon G6 crew are all knowledgeable. They're more knowledgeable than me. They're helpful. They're quick to give you advice or answer any questions, and if they don't know the answer, they'll find out with you. And I can't thank them enough because it's their elbow grease that put this course together from last year to this year. We're really looking forward to phase 3 next year. So let's
plans
invite
on
them.
making it even bigger next year.
Oh yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's
okay.
With phase 3s next year, and then I think we're gonna add a little more scale coolness. You know, more bridges. It all takes time, and what you see is, you know, a little over 2 days of work.
2 days.
Every year. So I think phase 4 will be the final phase, and that's when we can just start really getting super scale with it. You know, have some buildings, have some fun stuff.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
My honor. Hey,
it's hard to hold the camera.
I know it's hard to hold the camera. That's why I'm a shaker. Dude, if y'all have not driven Scale RC or Scale Adventure, you owe it to yourself to try it. It's so much fun, and if you're creative, it's totally individualistic as well. There's no rhyme or reason. I always tell people, who am I to tell you how to build your toy car, and who am I to tell you how to play with it? All we do is set up a stage for you to be your own action adventure hero in your own scale adventure.
I have one thing for you to do before we can say bye. This is very important. Okay. Everyone's waiting because Abby's not here. So here we go. Everyone, thanks a lot for watching. All of the information, if you want to learn more about his events, will be linked in the description box below. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye!
That's it right there.